In a world where trombone players and musicians want to know the answers to burning questions, top trombone players, even me, are here with Paul the Trombonist Nowell to answer your burning questions.
What advice do you have for someone that's holding down the bass trombone chair in a big band?
I kind of had a feeling you would ask that question. The main thing I would have to say is be aware of your surroundings. And the reason that I say that is bass trombone can be a very powerful instrument. And there is a real danger in being a bit too much, for a particular section. I think, and I'll confess, I've been kind of called on that a few times myself. So that's why I would say be aware of your surroundings, kind of recognize who you're playing with, who the band leader is, if they've told you that, they would kind of prefer you to keep it down, volume-wise, of course. It's like, yeah, take it seriously. I mean, there are certain circumstances where, yeah, you can kind of relax and feel like you don't have to be walking on eggshells, for certain players. But I think you just have to recognize that there are lead trombone players who have, varying styles. Some are just really, full tilt, straight ahead. Others are a bit more controlled and delicate in their approach.
Right.
And I don't think there is any lead player, especially, who enjoys feeling like they're, kind of being overshadowed by anyone in the section, especially the bass trombone player. I think, along those same lines, provide a firm foundation. I mean, that's really what I try to stress the most. Even, some of the times when it may have seemed like I'm being a little bit overzealous in my approach, that wasn't necessarily my intent. I believe in providing a firm foundation. Listen to the bass instruments around you. If you can lock in with a bari player as much as possible, or they can lock into you.
Yeah.
Or listen to the bass player, like, okay, what's happening over there? What's going on pitch-wise?
Right.
One thing I've frequently been told by baritone sax players who like the way that I play, they enjoy that I establish a pitch and pretty much stick with it, and that they're kind of able to lock into it. There are times when, things may be a little bit off and you may be the one who has to make the slight accommodation in terms of, okay, maybe out just a little bit, But again, be aware of your surroundings, listen to what's going on around you, and establish a firm foundation.
Okay, that's amazing. So as far as volume level, what do you recommend for the hierarchy of volume level in this section? So you got the lead player, and then second and third are a little bit under. But then you're not going to be quite as under.
Right.
You're still going to be a little louder, but not quite up to the lead player.
Because I think really, the lead and the bass, the bottom kind of establish the structure or the outline of the sound, if you will. I think the bass, unless it's simply a case of where, the bass is at this particular point is not necessarily playing the root, or like it maybe it's if it's just like an inner voice, so to speak. But I still think in general it's important for the bass trombone player to be maybe just up a tad, maybe from the inner voices, but not so much to overshadow, the rest of the section. At
great.
least that's what I try to do. I'm sure some of my friends out there are saying, "Yeah, Rich, right." I'm just kidding.
Oh no, you do it right. I've played with you. So, and then in terms of, you're a lot of the times with the baritone saxophone.
Right.
So it's good to have a nice relationship with the bari
Oh,
player.
absolutely, absolutely. And I think for the most part, I do. It's not a perfect world. You're not going to get along perfectly with everybody. But being able to, really have a good relationship with your baritone sax player is, especially, I want to have as good of a relationship with everybody that I can, of course, but especially, somebody you're really trying to work in tandem with, and you're really kind of in the trenches together in that regard, so to speak.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's great. Hello everybody, Paul the Trombonist here. Thank you so much, Rich. Such amazing, valuable information. Now, if you haven't noticed already, our announcer, Timony Tim Tim, is out for the day. Because why would we have him if we have the wonderful Rich Bullock and his amazing voice both on his instrument and out of his speaking voice here? Rich also, he does voiceover. So if you need to get in contact with a voiceover artist, you want to hit him up. BassboneVoice.com. Or if you have any questions for him about anything he talked about, he's on BassboneVoice.com with his contact info. That's awesome, Rich. We love you so much. What a great guy. He will be back for other episodes. Now check this out. We got who's up next? The next person that's going to be featured on Bone Masters is the wonderful Alan Kaplan again. You're not going to want to miss that. Also filming other people. Would like to thank all the patrons, all the viewers, BAC Music, and want to tell you about the Facebook page for Bone Masters now. It's Bone Masters TV. You're going to want to like that. Most of you are on Facebook anyways. This way it's easier for us all to interact. Just go to the Facebook page. Also the Paul the Trombonist Facebook page. It's getting too confusing. I didn't know whether to put the Bone Masters episodes up on the Paul the Trombonist page, so what I decided to do is going to be separate. So on Facebook, Paul the Trombonist Fans, that's what that's called. That's going to be all my originally produced content. Then for the people interested in the Bone Masters, that's going to be on Bone Masters TV, that Facebook page. That way it keeps it organized. Everyone has a good old time that way, and then they can just dial into what they're really interested in and dial in. Now, remember, you can tune a piano, but you cannot tune a fish. Or can you?